After work experience, what would come would be your education and certifications. And for many positions, I know for most positions I hire, I take a real quick glance at this just to see if something stands out. Now, in your field, something like a certain level of education, like you need to have an advanced degree, maybe a master's degree, maybe even a doctorate degree, or a certain type of certification, probably particularly like a technical certification, or you're a nurse and you have certification around emergency room work or surgery, whatever, that something might be a little bit more advanced, that section becomes even more important. But employers will really kind of glance at it quickly in most cases, unless, of course, there are the exceptions. And it's typically chronological, again, reverse chronological. Like, I would list like for myself, I'd list my master's degree, my MBA, and then my bachelor's degree, in that section. Then I might add some certifications and things I have. It's okay to reverse that order, by the way, too, because people read top to bottom. If your certifications is what really stands out, maybe you're a Microsoft Certified Solutions Expert, an MCSE, and maybe in school you majored in anthropology. Nothing wrong with anthropology. If you're applying to be a professor of anthropology, that's really, really important. But if you're a system engineer, you might want to list that MCSE certification at the top and then go into your education. You might not even list that what your major was. Just say I have whatever, a bachelor's degree from XYZ school. Right? You don't have to go and say it's in anthropology. Now, if it was in computer science, then you'd say, yeah, computer science with a 4.0 grade on average. That feel free. You have real good flexibility on this. And then I also like if you use bold if you want to really call something out. Let's say that certification is everything. That is the main thing that if anybody's looking at this section, that's all they care about. Just go ahead and bold it. Put it at the top, bold it, reverse chronological with your certification, then your education. It's okay to mix it up like that. But if somebody's scanning through it and you wanted to see like, oh, that pops out. I'm looking for MCSE. That's got to have that. Boy, that's okay. I don't care about your undergraduate degree. I don't care about your formal education. All I care about is that certification. Or maybe, again, it depends on the field. Maybe it's something, where somebody does care about your higher education. Or it's something maybe you went to a prestigious school, right? In, an Ivy League school or a top school internationally, that you want to call that out, so that's very important too, because that carries its own weight with it. It tells your story and carries your own weight too. So you decide when you look at your education certification, what you may or may not want to emphasize, but also again, look at it from that employer standpoint and see what's applicable or not applicable. In most cases, it's like nice to have, but employers aren't going to spend a lot of time on it. But there are certainly exceptions, particularly with certain types of degrees, or if somebody's looking for like a bachelor's degree, but they say a master's degree is preferred or advanced degree is preferred, you want to highlight that, or certainly a key certification like in the example we just went. So there you go, the education and certification, we're kind of getting towards the bottom of the resume. In fact, many times in your resume, you can almost kind of end right here if you wanted. But there's some other things you can do to make your resume stand a little bit even further. And we're going to talk about that in the next lesson.